YouTube, how you doing today? I wanted to show you something that I removed my exhaust manifold, and I was having the hardest time doing this. Now I was looking up online. I was having trouble, finding what to do online. I was looking around. This is an automatic Is300, so I don't know if manuals are different or what's the case, but this is what I did, and I could not find it on YouTube whatsoever, so I decided to make a video. This is the exhaust manifold. Now, what I did, I removed this portion of the exhaust manifold. So this heat shield's still on. I removed this heat shield. It kind of helped, remove it in the end. And what I did was, this is the portion that was holding the heat shield on. Now what I did, I hammered it so it can sit kind of like, towards the exhaust manifold. Before it was like sticking out a lot. I could not get the bolt out. That's why I kind of like used a pry bar, and I just ripped this thing off. This, kind of takes up a lot of space. You don't need to remove this one. If you want to, you can, but it's gonna be such a pain in the butt. So you don't want to remove that. This was much easier to remove. And another thing is, if you don't have it, I suggest you borrow one, or I don't know if you want to, but I use a Sawzall. And what I did was I could not get this last bolt out. It was stripped. I got the other two out. What I did was I cut my exhaust. Because this is the reason why I cut it, is because I'm going to put a new catback exhaust. So that's why I cut it. So as you can see, there's 3 bolts, 1, 2, and 3. This one, like I said, got stuck from this end. I could not get anywhere on this end. There's no room. I could put a spanner on there, but that would not help at all because it's seized. And then up here, I sprayed it down with PB Blaster. They came off fairly easy. If you use a breaker bar, they come off fairly easy. Now I'm going to come under the car. Okay. Now there's a lot of rust, so be careful with that. As you can see, I cut it off. That was the only way I can put it up there. I can bring it through the top. Now if you have a lift, you could probably bring it through the bottom, but I don't have a lift, as you can see, and I just brought it to the top of the car. And there goes the old heat shield. You can see the band that was holding it in place. And I just pried it open. I suggest you wear a face mask because there's a lot of rust and there's like a lot of particles roaming around. I actually wore safety goggles also. It's very, watch for your safety. You don't want particles flying in your face while you're cutting stuff off, or just being under here in general. You don't want nothing to fall in your eyes. It's not good for your eyes. Now all that said and done, all the hard parts out of the way, but there's even more hard parts coming up because as you can see down here, my exhaust manifold was hitting against the transmission right here. Now I did not know how to remove it. I was having a difficult time. So I was looking around to see what is it hitting against on. Actually, it was hitting against this right here. Let's see if I can pull it out. This is actually a ground for your battery. It's a negative ground, and what it did was it was connected right here. So while I was pulling it up, it was rubbing against this right here. And you gotta be very careful with this because I actually stripped the bolt, but I pushed the header down. When you push it down, you'll have enough room to have enough leverage to remove this. Me, I was just trying to remove it while the header was still right here. It was not a good idea, so I pushed the header all the way down. I had enough room with my breaker bar, and I removed it. And then the bolt came out, and then you can just push this aside. Now, that gave me a lot more room, but when I was bringing it up, it was still rubbing against something. And it turns out it was this throttle body holder right here. And as you can see, it was held on by some 12mm bolts. I'll show you. It's a spacer, I mean, not the spacer, but it was the holder right here. This was in the way. I removed this, and the header gradually came out through the top. I wanted to make this walkthrough, or, you know, this little process for people, just so, because a lot of the times you just gotta look for it, and I could not find it, so I just wanted to make this easier for someone else. And one more thing, I actually removed this from the bracket right here. So all you need is some pliers, and then squeeze this, and then this comes right on top of here. You gotta move that out of the way because you don't want to break any wires or strip any, you know, you don't want to rip any wires off. So just move that out of the way. And yeah, I hope this helps some people, because I was looking through a lot of, you know, a lot of online I'm sorry, I forgot the name of it. But I was looking through, the forums. I was looking through the forums, and, you know, the walkthroughs were very helpful, but like stuff like this I could not find. Like, oh, you gotta remove that, or you gotta remove that right there. And I just wanted to show you guys what I went through, because a lot of the YouTube videos, they don't show how do you remove it. So I hope this helps. And I hope I didn't waste a lot of your time, but thanks for watching.